Alright, today we're riding on the Power Goat and we're going to do the full throttle only range test. I'm really curious to see what kind of range we're going to get. I just took the battery off the charger, so we have a full charge today. So we're going to go for a pretty long ride and we're just going to see how well the Power Goat can do. Now, I do have some updates on the version 2 of the Power Goat that I'm going to talk about today in this video, so stay tuned. It's a nice 70-degree day out today, warmest day so far this year. It's very nice. Now, I haven't done a really long ride on the Goat yet, so I'm really excited to get out on it. It's been a couple weeks since I've ridden it. Happy to be back out on it today. And I always feel comfortable riding this just because it can keep up with the speed limits in my area. Pretty well. Now, since I made my first Power Goat video, there's been a lot of other YouTube videos produced. I'm going to be lucky enough to get the version 2 of this bike, so I'll be able to show you the differences between the older version and the newer version come April. That's when I'm supposed to be getting the new one. Looks like we just hit 44 miles an hour. When I did the first video on the Power Goat, it was cold out. This will be more ideal conditions for the battery, so we should see a lot better performance. We're gonna go around some of the back streets. Places you guys have never been. But we're gonna try to stay away from traffic as much as possible. If that's possible. We'll see. Drive by the park. Maybe go to a couple different ones if we got enough range. But on this bike, we'll be able to go all over the place. And I keep calling it a bike, but I haven't installed the pedals on it yet, so technically e-moped. I'm just so used to calling it a bike. Lots of people out walking today. It's really nice out. Nice to see it. Hello. Now this is the park I used to play at all the time when I was a kid, which is really cool. Now we're gonna take a stroll over by my high school, or I should just say my school in general, because I went to elementary, middle, high school, all over here. They're all together. See if we can get in there. Yeah, should be able to go around. I should be able to get behind here. It's been a really long time since I've been over here. Things have changed quite a bit. They actually have a really nice football field now with AstroTurf. They spent a lot of money on that. Looks nice though. So that was my elementary school. The middle school's over here, which we'll go to, and then we'll swing by the high school. Oh, big old speed bump. So here's the middle school. It hasn't changed too much. But this is where I learned how to drive. This is where I used to play hockey at a lot up here. Parking lot's changed quite a bit since when I went here. They got basketball goals over here now. That's pretty nice. Pretty quiet though, it's a Sunday, so not very many people out. Pretty cool to come over to my old schools from my new house. Back in the neighborhood. So all this is right down the street from my new house, but it's a different city. Just one city over. So far we've gone 6.4 miles. Sounds like I'm gonna need to make some adjustments on the brakes a little. Gotta keep the speed limit down though. We're in a school zone even though school's not in session. Alright, we're coming up on the high school now. Here it is. It has changed so much since I've went there. It's gotten quite a bit bigger. They now have an auditorium. Damn brakes. Try to see if we can go around here. This is the back side. You used to be able to go all the way around the school. I don't know if you still can or not. Looks like you might be able to. Yeah. Yeah, those brakes need to be adjusted big time. Yeah, I don't know if you can get into the front of the school this way, but maybe. Nope, you can't. You used to be able to get right in front of the school from here. Alright, let's talk about the Goat Power Bikes Power Goat version 2. So I have the version 1. They are going to be sending me out the version 2 in April when they release. And I'll be able to do a direct comparison of the two bikes so you guys can see what actually has changed, but we're going to go over some of that today. As you can see, the bike here only has front suspension. They are changing the geometry of the frame quite a bit to accommodate rear suspension, so you'll have rear shocks on the back and front shocks on the back, so dual suspension on the version 2 of the Power Goat. Again, this is the version 1 we're looking at, but the version 2 will be coming out in April, and I will be comparing the two. The version 2 will also have rear turn signals, so the version 1 actually has turn signals, but they just don't blink on the back. The back turn signal will be blinking instead of just staying solid. So another person asked me how bright these were, and I think they're pretty bright. You can see them really good in bright sunlight like we're in today. No problems. So they will be changing that out to have blinking turn signals in the rear. If you haven't seen my review, go check that out, but here's the front turn signals. I showed those off in the initial review of the Power Goat. They are going to be optimizing the controller, which is up in the back behind the seat here, and that controller is going to allow you to get 2 to 3 more miles per hour on performance. So we are hitting right around 40 plus miles per hour. We're going to be able to hit quite a bit more with the optimized controller. And the optimized controller is going to provide a little bit smoother ride. It looks like they're going to make some adjustments to that to make it better for you. Now on the new version of the bike, they're going to have Samsung cells in the batteries. They will be UL certified. They will be safe. You won't have to worry about them catching fire or anything that you could potentially have to worry about with the cheaper bikes. On my bike I have a 4.5 inch front tire. Supposedly they rub whenever you have the 4.5 inch tire on the front. I haven't had any issues with rubbing, but I haven't ridden it a ton, so I can't really comment on that. But personally I haven't had any problems on road or off road with my tire rubbing, but they are going to change that to a 4 inch just to make sure nobody else has that problem. I believe some people have had that issue. They are going to integrate a voltage gauge into the display. So right now we only have a percentage gauge, so it's really hard to judge how much voltage is left on your battery. So they were going to provide a voltage gauge to make it a little bit more accurate for that. Now if you do have dual batteries, it will accommodate, you'll still get the full voltage on the reading when you have 2 batteries. It will just drain slower, and yeah, you'll still be able to tell how much capacity you have left on total on your bike. And I will be getting a second battery for the version 2. I'm going to show you how to install that. We're going to be doing some performance tests with the dual batteries as well, and just kind of do some comparisons between the two bikes. And that's kind of why I'm out here today doing the range test, so we can see what the differences are between the two. If I get any more updates in regards to the Power Goat, I will definitely make another update video. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with the latest information on this bike. So far we haven't really lost any power yet. We're about halfway done with the battery, it looks like. Going uphill here. If only there was a way to include some kind of audible noise that you have your blinkers on, that would be really nice. I think that would even be better than having a indication on your screen, but either way, some way to know that you still have your blinkers on other than just looking at it. And this is going to be a longer video, I believe, so you guys will be able to actually see how well it performs. I can literally drive anywhere with this in my neighborhood on the city streets. But considering I can keep up with traffic, that's pretty awesome. And then I have to let off so that I don't get too close. And I love the look of the PowerGo. I think the frame design is just really, really cool. See if we can catch up with this Jeep. Maybe. Yep. The miles just pile up on this thing. We're already to 12. Now with this much power comes less battery. So even though you have 1200 watt hours, it's not the same as, let's say you had 1200 watt hours on a 52 volt. You're probably going to get a little bit more range with that bike than this, because this has more power and it's going to perform, it's going to drain your battery that much more. So keep that in mind. Watt hours isn't always exactly how much range you're going to get. That's just telling you, you know, voltage times capacity. But we're still flying. We're still getting good speed. Still almost hitting 40 miles an hour. Alright, we're at 13.8 miles, almost 14. Anytime now it'll be 14 miles of range so far. The battery's flashing. We're at 3%. We're going to pull over up here, let the bike sit for a little bit, see if we get any of that capacity back with the voltage sag, and see if the battery stops blinking. It says 2% now. It's quite a bit of voltage sag on this bike, so I just hope I have enough juice to get home. I am a few miles away from my house. Our battery indicator just stopped flashing. We're at 6% now. As we continue to sit here, it's going to go up until it levels out. So it's got quite a bit of voltage sag. Hopefully with the new batteries, with the Samsung cells, we won't get as much voltage sag, and we'll probably get quite a bit of increased performance with that. I'm excited to see. So all right, we've been sitting on 12% for quite a bit now. No cars are coming. We're going to go ahead and take off and try to make it home. Now I'll try to read the percentage off to you. See, it already dropped down to 11. As we begin to increase speed, we're going to see that battery percentage drop quite a bit. We're at 10. 9. 9% so far. So there's a little wrench on the screen now. It's flashing. It says Aero 6, which probably means we're getting pretty low on the battery and we're losing performance. I can feel it. So we're probably pretty close to being dead. I should probably take it easy here. Motorcycles out here waving at me, thinking I'm a motorcycle. I think that was a trike, actually. 5% battery. Of course, that's probably going to go back up again if I let go of the throttle, but we're trying to get home, so no letting go of the throttle right now. But we are definitely getting that flashing wrench. So that means we're pretty much toast. Gonna have to make it home. We're at 15.25 miles. Getting ready to pass the horsies. But I can definitely feel that the performance is really lacking now. But we're still in the 20 and 30 mile per hour range. I'm not complaining. And if we don't die by the time we get to my house, I will drive it around until we do die. We're at 3%. Luckily, no cars behind us. And only one car behind us the entire trip that had to pass me. Okay, they're turning. We're at 3% with the flashing battery. Go ahead and turn in here and drive around the neighborhood. Go this way, go around the new section of the subdivision, turn around, go towards the house. $16.4 miles so far. If I were to guess, I would have guessed about 20 miles of range. I don't know if we're even going to make that. We're definitely at 0. So we should probably turn around and go home. Flashing battery, 0%. Got the wrench. And we can't pedal home on this bike, so this is always a little sketchy. Hopefully we got enough juice to make it back. I'm gonna coast as much as I can. Well, it's not too far of a walk if we gotta walk. Hopefully we don't have to though. Still going, can't believe it. Alright, so I don't have to walk home. We're gonna call it 18 miles of range. Alright, well, we hit 18 miles. Max speed of 44. Does it show me the average speed of 17 miles per hour? And we were out for 2 hours. So pretty good specs. We might get a tiny bit more range, but we're not going to hit much more than 19. So that'll do it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think. Leave some comments down below if you have any questions or if you want to comment on the actual range. But 18.09 miles, and we were running out of power today. So that's the end of the Power Goat range test. Thanks for watching.